Any program with reference to DTRTA is a pleasure to be back. As Srividya mentioned, I had 3 stints in the RTI, 2 at Bangalore and 1 at Chennai. In fact, with this particular course, in a way, I was slightly responsible for this course that in the mid 90s, when I was in the RTI under the leadership of Mrs. Manju Madhavan, we proposed a complete revamping of programs which were till then run. Till then, the mindset was that any training is an investment and there should be an immediate return. In fact, some of you may remember that the nobody who had less than 3 years to service left was even nominated for any training program. So we went and we made a proposal to NIDT that that's not a way to look at with reference to income tax department, where human resources are the most important thing, and that we must give a sense of belonging to our members of the family of income tax, and that cannot come by saying that we will leave you before 3 years of your service completely to yourself. So fortunately, NIDT was positive about it, and then we started this course on a regular basis as part of our calendar. So it's nice that this course is being continued. Uh, this is an occasion for all the participants to introspect for themselves, or to think about, not introspect. Introspect is a little loaded word. To think about, as they must already be thinking on the lines of how they should organize their life after the working in department, after having an organized way of functioning. The 3 issues which are most important, either in service or outside, they are wealth, health, and occupation. With how do we occupy our time? How do we feel involved or engaged with life? So I'm glad that this program has sessions on 2 of them, that is health and wealth. I think today you're going to have 2 sessions on calculation of superannuation benefits, and then how can one plan about investing them for better returns and way of organizing the financial affairs from post-retirement. And tomorrow, the more important one on health, what precautions to be taken or how one should handle one's health management, as well as what CGHS can do, how CGHS facilities can be used or benefits can be used for the by the retired officers or officials. These 2 sessions are quite important and useful, and they're quite timely. So I'm sure when it comes to the occupation, each one of the participants, each one of us, irrespective of the rank that we hold in the office, are leaders in our own society, in our own sphere. So we do have engagements far beyond the work in office. Yes, some of us work much more in office and some work less, but then all of us have some occupation or some engagement with the rest of the society, rest of the world. So this is perhaps the time to renew those or widen those activities outside the scope of our work. Life is going to be longer after retirement compared to what it was perhaps few years back. Life expectancy is considerably increased. At the time of independence, I am told it was in the 40s in India, the life expectancy, average life expectancy. Now we can comfortably have a life expectancy of mid 70s at least. That's around 76 or so now. So my suggestion while inaugurating this program is that look at the practical aspects which are going to be presented in the training program, that is about the superannuation benefits, how to invest them, and about health and health management, and also contemplate how productively one could spend rest of the period now that the compulsions of work or the rigor of work or the requirements of work are going to be removed, and we are going to be relatively free, so that we can design for ourselves how we would like to spend the time. So with these words, I inaugurate this program on wellness and lifestyle for retiring members of the income tax family. I wish you all a very productive time in this training program, and I thank RTI and Srividya in particular for giving me this occasion to interact with you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you very much, sir. So can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. It was Wonderful having you with us here, sir. And a lot of people among our participants, I'm sure, would have, had an opportunity to work with you at some point of time,
Yes.
especially in Bangalore. And Andhra also, we have participants. So many of us, and we are really honored, sir, to have you with us here today. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Then I take leave of you.
Sure,
Please
sir.
go
Sure,
ahead
sure.
with your program. Thank you.
Fine, sir. Fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Well, participants, that was RSVS Pavan Kumar sir speaking with us right now, and we will go ahead with our sessions. As already mentioned, as already we've been communicating with you all in the last 1 week as to how we have structured this particular course. We will be starting with superannuation benefits, and we already have our guest, Mr. Venkatraman sir, already here with us, who has logged in. Yes, sir. And and after sir's session, we will be taking a short break, and we have Ms. Jayashree Mehta, who will be telling you as to how you can plan the retirement benefits and how to go about it. We will end the session with her session at 1:15, 1:30. And tomorrow we will be coming back with the health management, how you can stay healthy, and how CGHS is going to help you in all your whatever kind of issues you have regarding the CGHS or your health, anything. He is Dr. Rajendra Joshi, Additional Director of CGHS, who's currently posted in Jaipur. But participants, we have a request here. Let's make it as interactive as possible. Kindly interact with all the guests here, and whatever doubts you have, please get it clarified. If you have an issue of unmuting yourselves, or you're not able to speak, or you have some problem communicating, not an issue, please put it on the chat box here, and we will be reading out the question for you. Or if we even have a WhatsApp group, I will be monitoring the WhatsApp group continuously. You can please put in your questions, and the same will be taken up. When you go away from this course, you should go away with a complete knowledge of whatever you have learned here. So we now have Venkatraman sir, who's already here with us. Let me introduce Mr. Venkatraman to all of you. Mr. N. Venkatraman, Assistant Accounts Officer in the Institute of Government Accounts and Finance in Chennai right now, presently working as the AO in Ministry of Commerce. He's put in 30 years of government service, worked in various capacities in the Ministry of Defense, Directorate General of Quality Assurance, Aeronautical Quality Establishment in ZAO, PAO, and the Institute of Government Accounts and Finance. He's been taking classes on subjects related to government rules, pension, TDS, GEM, GFR, RTI, financial management, PFMS, government accounts, budget, accounts compilation, revenue accounting, management system, management topics, time and stress management. In fact, Mr. Venkatraman is a regular faculty whenever we have to take classes on PFMS and GEM. He's been with DTRTI and MSDU Bangalore. He's got over 15 years of teaching experience in various institutions as a visiting faculty in the Institute of Government Accounts and Finance, New Delhi, Kolkata, RTI, Accountant General, Chennai, NADT, National Academy of Customs, Indirect Taxes and Narcotics, Chennai, MSTU Chennai, DTRTI Chennai, Bangalore, and MSTU Bangalore, CP Central Public Works Institute, KK Nagar, Chennai, and Center for Telecommunication Training and Chennai. Well, we have Venkatraman sir, who will be handling the session on superannuation benefits. Participants, please make the most of these sessions that are being offered in this 2-day course. So we have Venkatraman sir here, sir. Sir, you can please start your session. Thank you so much for coming over, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind words on me. Yeah, we'll start today's session, morning session, first session, in fact. Good morning to all participants. I was told you are all the bunch of youngsters, those who are going to retire very soon. So still we are youngsters. See, our life is not ended at retirement, and you are going to start your second innings, which may be a very longer innings than what you are now experiencing. The only difference between the present status of yours and after your retirement is that, See, whatever the social status we are having now and what is the financial stability we have, that has to be go on even after our retirement. That is why the pension has come into existence. What happened? All of you may know that. See, on a 31st or 30th or 28th of February, see, you will be getting around the 60,000 rupees salary, a handful salary. You just think of the scenario that on a very next day, your salary will be curtailed to 15,000. That is half of what you are taking. But we will have in our mind that always we have that financial security and also the social status. When I'm talking about social status, it differs definitely. It differs, and we should be very ready to face that scenario. See, the scenario on up to the date of your retirement is different. After the retirement is different. You can even think that you may be a very big officer retiring from your service. 31st, a driver will come and open the doors and he will request you to get into your office. All your staff will salute you. So that was the day up to you are working, you are serving. So just think of a scenario next day when you are entering into the same office. You may not get such things. So I'm not blaming, but still that is the social status which we are going to take up. So we should be prepared to face that difference between the existing lifestyle and when we are going to the other end of our life. Okay, coming to this today's morning session, we are going to see what are all the superannuation benefits. So I was told that all the participants are getting superannuated. I think that there won't be any VRS and other cases involved in this. So we are going to primarily concentrating on the superannuation benefits. What are all the benefits government is giving to us? So you might have joined to service in 70s and 80s. So what happened that time? The pension is the only one keyword which has brought all of us into government service. See, that time people would have told you, see, once you get into government service, the service is also secured and you will be paid till your death and till your lifetime. Yeah, that was the one bunch of words, pension after retirement, had brought us into our service. So what this pension does to us, what we are going to get, what are the differences after the retirement, that we will discuss for another an hour of this session. So I would like to share my PPT to all of you, which will be in at the end of the session, which will be given to all of you through your course coordinator. So let us go into that. Any doubt, anything during this session you have, please put that on the message box. So dialog box, we will interact also through the session because this session is very short one of an hour. So superannuation benefits. Now we are going to see this session is for an hour. So can any one of you tell me that, of course, now everything is muted, but still, when I ask any of you that when your pension process starts, so I will be getting a different views from different participants. Some may be telling that, sir, say 3 months before. Some may be telling that, sir, 6 months before. Some people will tell, sir, a year before. If I say the precise answer for this question, you will be surprised. Your pension process starts on the very first day you are entering into the government service. How is it? See, when we are entering into the government service, your date of retirement, I'm talking about the superannuation, is defined on the date of your entry into the government service. So your service book is opened. So let us see that whenever you join the service, your pension period starts and pension process starts. Thereafter, every year you are supposed to be shown your service book and you will have to sign and verify across the service book as per GFR, stating that I have seen all the entries in the service book. These are all correct. So this has to happen every year after you enter into service. So every year you are having a link with your pension process. Earlier it was 25 years. Now it is 18 years. Only after completion of 18 years of your service will have to undergo a verification by your zonal accounts office or a pay and accounts office. So it gets ensured that your service has been verified, all entries are correct, your pay fixations are correct, you have got a very correct arrears of pension, arrears of pay, increments, everything. So after 18 years, you should have gone for a service verification. Had not been done by your DDO, please insist to that if you have still time. And before 5 years of date of retirement, all your financial implementations have to be verified and entries to be checked. By whom? By your head of the office. See now, 1 year exactly before the retirement of any government servant, all the government servant data will have to be compiled by the head of the office and has to be sent to 4 places. One to CPAO, one to your head of the department, one to the PAO, one to the DDO of the concerned head of the office. So this list will have to be there. Probably all of you, those who are attending today's class, would be there in this list that you are going to retire within a very short period or within this whole year. Before 8 months of your exact retirement date, every pensioner will have to log in into the Bhavishya. All of you know that now Bhavishya has been it has been made mandatory that you will have to process your own cases. It's of one side of a benefit, because whatever the head of the office earlier was processing your pension case would not have been known to you. But now a chance is given to you to open up your own case and you can process it. But when it has to start, it has to start at least 8 months before the retirement date. The Bhavishya has got a facility and it will also prompt you. I hope that many of you would have already started working over it and you might have submitted your case also. So 6 months before the case, your retirement, it has to reach your head of the office. Before 4 months, your head of office will have to verify everything and they should have supplied your case in full shape to the PAO. And the PAO will process it before 3 months of your retirement. Before 2 months of your retirement, all your authorities and your payment regulations should be ready with the PAO office. A month before your retirement, this will have to be settled and the authorities will have to be sent to your head of the office by your zonal accounts office. But practically nowadays it's not happening. What happened? When the time the case reaches your zonal accounts office, that may be your month of retirement. See, so you are giving the case to the zonal accounts office on 10th of this month, and we expect the end of this month they want us to get all benefits. So properly, please maintain this pension process roadmap. If you have still a time or if you have a short of time, please ensure that this process of roadmap has already been done with. Because all of you are now going to retire in a very short time, what is your responsibilities? What, of course, you need to see, that I will explain in this slide. And it is your responsibility also. Why? Because, many of the cases, around 60% of the cases, has got some disputes, have got some difference of opinion, has got some misinterpretation of rules after they retire only. So till the retirement, the retiree may not know what is their entitlement, how they are going to do it, where they have done a mistake. So it is always a better thing that before you retire, you just realize what is your responsibilities, how you can cut short the problems which you are going to face after your pension days. So you can go through this PowerPoint. I hope every one of you could see my PowerPoint presentation. The very first thing. Hello. Hello. Can I proceed?
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah. The very first thing what you have to do before 8 months of your retirement, just to go and see your service book and leave account if you are periodically have not done it so far. So it is very essential thing. At least you just look at your service book and leave account whether it is promptly maintained, because many of the cases are delayed only because of some problems in your service book and leave account. Check the administrative records and assess the financial entitlements. It's very important. When we are talking about administrative records, what are all those things? These administrative records mainly were there in your service book. In the service book, for example, your name, date of birth, father's name, entering into government service, how long you have worked in a cadre, when you have been made permanency, and thereafter how you have got your pay fixation. It may be a pay commission fixation or a promotion or a non-functional grade. You just go through all these things in your service records. Apart from that, your family detail, your nominations, your place of working, your place of going to be settled after your retirement, whether you are your CGHS is entered in the service book. Well, if you are an allottee of a government quarters, whether the quarters has been allotted through your service book, entry is available there or not. If you are going to vacate your government quarters, whether the vacation record is available there or not. Mainly, a service verification has been done every year. Whether the entries pertaining to CGIES has been properly done every year in your service book. All these things what we are calling as an administrative record. What is the basic for checking this? Your service book. And apart from that, leave account also you can promptly see that. Why? Because it should not make any problems when you are going for encashment of EL. Other side, you have to look at your financial entitlements also. What are all the financial entitlements? Your service, qualifying service, your non-qualifying service, how much you are going to get your pension, and how you are going to get your pension, through how we are giving your pension, whether any promotions are neglected, whether any penal has been done in your service book, whether the payment has been regularly given to you, whether leave account related to the encashment of leave has been entered in your financial entries, whether the bonus, TDS, everything has been accounted properly in your financial entitlement book. Which is that financial entitlement book? You can ask your DDO, your drawing and disbursing officer, to show the PBR, that is your pay bill register, which pertains to your monthly as well as annual income register. So before going to retirement, once at least, please go through your service book, please go through your leave account, please go through your PBR and get ensured that all the entries have been done correctly. And check your certificate of medical fitness is very essential. Why? Because your zonal accounts office will make an objection if your medical fitness at the time of entry into the government service is missing in your entry service book. Please look at that. Thereafter, there is another very important thing. After we have made automation of your pension process through Bhavishya, is that your name in your service book should be exactly matching with the name in your bank account, because there is a validation being done by the Bhavishya portal. How it could be done? See, for example, there is a difference between your name in service book and name in your bank passbook. Your service book cannot be changed. See, that is the base document which you will have to go for your pension. How can you make an amendment, a change in your bank account? Please don't go for any affidavits or any date of birth certificate or a name or your SSLC certificate. Nothing you need to go for. Take endorsed and attested copies of the first page of your service book. Take it to your bank and show to them with an act authority. Ask them to change your bank account name. Please ensure before your pension case is processed, your service book and bank account will have the same name as it reflects in your PFMS also. Coming back to the date of birth, this also creates many problem when a family pension is given to your family pensioners, and as well the defining of your additional quantum of pension, which we will be discussing later in the slides. So this is an important element. Yeah.
I think your slides are not being shared. Yes, sir.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's visible, sir.
Yeah. You just ensure that your service book, name in your service book and name in your bank account is clearly matching. Okay. The date of birth. As per the GFR, what is the base of your date of birth to be entered in your service book? It would have been done by your head of the office earlier itself. For the post which you are entering into the government service, which has got an education qualification up to the matriculation or below, the base document for your date of birth is the last school entry or the date, your date of birth certificate issued by your local authority. This is up to the matriculation. See, now you might have acquired additional qualification, but I'm talking about while entering into the government service. If that particular post has got a qualification more than matriculation, your matriculation certificate is the only document which you can give it for the authority of claiming your date of birth. Please ensure that your date of birth is correctly done in your service book, it is correctly matching in your Bhavishya, and correctly it has been put in your all papers of your pension process system. Please look at that and check whether all promotions, pay fixations, annual increments, yes, because hereafter your last pay drawn is going to be the main criteria for defining your pension and your terminal benefits as well as your pensionary benefits. So please get ensured your last pay drawn has been properly brought in, like your promotions, annual increments, pay fixations, everything has been brought into that. And finally, what you are drawing as not necessarily what you are drawing now also, there may be some missing, which if you incorporate it to your service books and your annual increment and financial accreditations, this may enhance your last pay drawn also. You may not know that some entries are missing in your service book, which will make entitle you to get more pension. So please go through your service book and financial books once again and get ensured all your promotion and financial aspects are. So verify your leave records also. If you have a less than 300 days of EL, yes, we have certain formalities which you could enhance your encashment at the time of retirement also. I will talk about that in a later stage. So please verify your leave records are also promptly recorded. In particular, all your EOL without medical certificate has been entered correctly, because this may hamper your gratuity, your qualifying service, and all other aspects. So please verify your leave records also before you are giving your pension papers. And continuing to that, ensure your qualifying, non-qualifying, and additional qualifying services are correctly recorded. Yes, it's very important. If some of you may be an ex-serviceman, you might have got your earlier service, you need to get added to the current session, current pension. So you see to that your additional qualifying services are added, your non-qualifying services are deleted. Why? Because this may affect your last pay drawn also. So please ensure all your qualifying services are properly brought into record. And if had you gone for any deputation, had you gone for some foreign service, ensure that your pension contribution and leave has already been handled correctly. Why I'm talking this about is, at the advanced stage of our career, normally what we will do is that we will go for deputation and we will come back to our parent department at the time fag end of our retirement. We may not know certain contributions which need to be given to the lending department, as certain things which will have to be given to the borrowing department are still left pending. There may be a scenario that this may be cut from your gratuity. So please ensure all your deputation allowances, foreign services, pension contributions are properly handled. And if you have come to this service, that is retirement service, from some other service and got permanently absorbed, then please see to that your earlier service has been properly terminated through a technical resignation. I just let you know that around 20 to 25% of from my experience, 20 to 25% of this permanent absorbee pensioners have missed their technical resignation, thinking that, sir, I have worked at the department, I have joined in a government service, government to government, what is the necessity of giving a technical resignation? It's a counting of service from earlier service to this service. Please do not do that. If you are an absorbee and you are going to be a pensioner, please see to that your technical resignation is put in the records and it is there entered in your service record. It's very essential. We are going through this slide mainly because these are all post-retirement complications you may be getting. So next, see to that your family members and their particulars are recorded in part 2 of your service book. This is what I am talking about in addition to your form 3, which you are going to supply through your pension process papers. And another main thing, many of our pensioners may not have with them. See, now even we have experienced this difficulty. Now you are getting your pension. Good, well. And you are surveying for another 20 years. Yes, good, it's fine. After 20 years, at the age of your 80, there is a revision in your pension case. So you are applying for that. your head of the office may not have the records with him, either your pension records or your service records, because all of you know that the space constraint is there, manpower is very less to keep this thing and all. So we suggest you at the time of exiting your service, please get a copy of your service book and keep ready with you. If there is a revision, there is a dispute, there is an entry missing, there is another court case after that, and there is an additional entitlement you are going to get through some pay commissions. If in such a scenario, even your head of the office does not have your records, you can show these records and get your entitlements get back. So always please keep a copy of your service book. If you pay 500 rupees to your head of the office, even the GFR giving a provision that a duplicate copy of the service book will have to be handed over to the government servant. So get benefit of that particular GFR rule, and always carry your service book till the entry of when you are making your pension process papers. It's very important. And then the maximum possible, please try to be there on duty. Until otherwise, you are ill or you are not able to attend the working day of your service, last working day of your service, please ensure that to all maximum possible, you be there on duty on the last working day of your service, and relinquish your post. It's very important that when you are going out of an organization, you might have been given many responsibilities, especially if you are handling cash, DDO post, or if you are handling any stores, purchase department. So there is a format in GFR. Please go through that. See, these things your head of the office or DDOs may not insist to you or may not let you know also, because every human mentality is that let the problem come, we will face it. Of course, it's a courageous thing, but we should be always prepared to face any consequences arising out of our ignorance or arising out of our missing trains. So please take our all responsibilities relinquished in a proper way, so that tomorrow after you become a pensioner, your department or office will not claim that you have not handed over anything and left out. So that also, as a pensioner, please get ensured. Define your dual pension status correctly. That is, now also we are facing some problems. Those people, those who are ex-servicemen, they first initially they wanted to add the service to civilian service. Now there is a rule. They can either go for a continuous civilian pension or earlier service pension and civilian pension. So before your retirement, please define correctly whichever is beneficial, you opt for it. And then submit your pension cases at least 6 months before. I'm talking about at least 6 months, even though the time frame given to you is 8 months before. So those who are at the verge of this 6 months, 8 months duration, please ensure that your papers are manually as well as through Bhavishya, it is submitted to your head of the office. And now, literally, we will go to the another important thing, nominations. By God's grace, let us have more than 100 years of life, but anything could happen at any point of time. So the nomination is an inevitable process which you will have to undergo, and which supposed to be passed on to your legitimate nominees. What are these nominations and how you can make it up? The very first thing is that you will have to proper nominations, you have to give in a proper format. If there is a nomination format 1 and nomination format 1A. Take this format. If you go through the Bhavishya, already it is there online, and you make all these nominations promptly and ensure that the nominations have reached your zonal accounts office in time. Because if you make these nominations and keep it in your service book or keep in with your edge of the office, will not serve the purpose. It has to be endorsed by your zonal accounts office. Once you are sending these copies, please keep a copy of that as an authority that you have already nominated such and such person and such facilities. So see to that you get an acknowledgement endorsement from your head of the office, and keep it with you a copy of your nominations. And what are the nominations you are supposed to be handling? And it's pension arrears, commutation, gratuity, family pension, GPF, CGIES, and any other arrears of payments. So separately you will have to have a set of these documents nominated by you of your people. Who are all you can nominate, I will let you know when it comes to the nomination process. So you have to go for these nominations and keep everything ready and submit it to your zonal accounts office through your head of the office in a proper time. And now, having said that, nominations will have to be done. See, every pensionary benefit, you cannot nominate on your own. That is, your legitimate dependent family member only can get your pensionary benefits. Before going for pensionary benefits, let me say what is pensionary benefits, what is terminal benefits. There are two aspects. The terminal benefits are done in one time, it will be given to you, which are not related to your pension rules. What are all they? For example, your CGIES insurance fund, your leave encashment, your TATA entitlement, these are all called terminal benefits, which terminates your service. What are all the pensionary benefits? Your pension, gratuity, commutation of gratuity, commutation of your pension, family pension, these are all called pensionary benefits. So you got two set of benefits, and for these two set of benefits, nomination also differs. For pensionary benefits, you cannot nominate as you like. For terminal benefits, you can nominate provided a dependent family person is not there. I will give a small example. GPF is a terminal benefit. If you have spouse alive, only the spouse will get your GPF benefit. If your spouse is not alive, not necessarily it has to go to the dependent, not necessarily it has to go to your family member only. It could be nominated for anyone by you. It could be even your friend, even it may be your neighbor, even it may be your girlfriend, whoever it may be. Your GPF could be nominated to them, provided the first class nominee, that is first class nominee is your spouse, is not alive. For example, when you come into the pensionary benefits, it has to go to your spouse, your dependent children, and then your parents. This way, those who are your family defined people and dependents, they only can be nominated, which cannot be given to anyone if you are nominating someone else outside this family tree. What is that family and what we call it up a dependency? Now we will see that. The very first one is, as I told you, the class 1 nomination is spouse, son and daughter. That is your children. Then comes your dependent parents. This is called the second class of pension benefit nominations. And widowed daughter. Widowed daughter at the time of your terminal benefits given. And divorced daughter. Those who have got married, subsequently divorced and still unmarried. So unmarried daughter, in the sense, till she is unmarried, she will be able to get this family pension. Then even your adopted child, this adopted child is, there is a very important aspect you have to see. The child, one who has been adopted before termination of your service only are eligible, and thereafter posthumous child, this is for the death case. Of course, you are all superannuated cases and it will not come into picture. And children void or voidable marriage, which is a legitimate children coming out of your marriage, are also a dependent family member. Apart from that, your brother and sisters are not part of your family, and yes, still they will become your part of family if any of your brother and sister siblings are a disabled person. They will be able to get your family pension, provided there is no claimant there before for their lifetime. So I hope this is clear that who are all your dependent and who are all your family members. Now we will go to the qualifying service. By now, because you are all going to retire within a year, every one of you may aware of what is your qualifying service. Let me say one more thing, that nowadays for getting your pension, your qualifying service is not a matter at all. If you have put a 10 years of service, you can get your pension even if you put 11 years service, even if you have put 42 years of service. Your pension is not going to be changed. Why? Because there was a concept that come in 6th Pay Commission. All your pension will be defined on the last pay drawn or the average emoluments. It is not related to proportionate pension. So the pension is not going to get changed because of the qualifying service. But But where the qualifying services matter is the terminal benefits which you are going to get through your gratuity, and a service gratuity, death gratuity will have an effect of your qualifying service. Let us see what are the qualifying services. You should have get into the service 1950, after 1950. Obviously, you would have come after 1950. Why I am talking about this one is that even before our independence, British period, in 1932 itself, the pension concept has come into existence. But this proper pension rule had come in 1972. So 1972, before that 22 years service, 1950, those who have joined into government service before that are not entitled to get this qualifying service. So after that, those who are joined properly, you all joined after that only. All services, including your leave period, will have to be taken. If you are entered into government service before 18 years of age, that will not be counted, which we call it as a boy service. And some of you might have been there in a temporary status. In 90, there was a circular given. Those who have got temporary status getting confirmed, only 50% of your temporary status service will be taken as a qualifying service. Please see to that is properly done. Okay, probation period on confirmation, it's there. See, even some of our IRS officers may be there in this group. So you might have gone through a 2 years probation period also. So even the training and probation period and any services you have put in continuation to your probation period will also to be counted. And if you are an ex-serviceman, had a war period outside India, that also can be counted. Period of suspension is also a qualifying service, whether it is thereafter revoked or not. It is not a break in service, provided spelled out in your punishment records. Past service on technical resignation, and all these things will be called as a qualifying service. How the qualifying service is going to define your gratuity? Every 3 months and more will be taken as a 6 months qualifying service, and it will be calculated for your gratuity. Let us see how it will be calculated later. And so by this slide, what I mean to tell you is that get ensured all your service rendered in the central government are properly taken into consideration for taking your pensionary benefits. Let me say that in between, now on, before your retirement, any service is terminated or dismissed, you are going to forfeit all these benefits. So get ensured that your vigilance is correct and there will not be any termination or dismissal during this period. So that makes the qualifying service very important. Now, as a earners of this particular session of an hour, now only we are getting into the retirement benefits. What are the retirement benefits that you are going to take if you are a superannuation case? First is pension. You know very well. Next is commutation of pension. That is a portion of pension can be taken in advance. Next, retirement gratuity, that a lump sum amount given at the time of your termination from service means you are relieved from your service. Then a general provident fund, of course it's your own money. If not, then contributory provident fund with its interest, and you are entitled for leave encashment and central government insurance scheme, that you will be getting a insurance fund money. Okay. Can I go? Hello.
Please continue, sir.
Yeah. A TA for settlement at station after retirement. This is also very important. So what happened? Many people have got a misinterpretation that whatever the hometown you have given in service book, there only you can go and settle. It's not so. You can give and opt any place, but within India, that to get settled. This has to be promptly mentioned in your pension papers. So the address after your retirement, that will define 3 important things. One is that this TA will be given to the place where whatever you are going to declare at the time of processing your pension cases. The other one is that The other one is that to that address only, all your communication, including your PPO, will be sent. So please give a proper address. This can be anywhere in India, not necessarily your hometown, and it would be given at the time of processing your case. And the other one, the last one is whatever the address you are giving as an address after your retirement, that address only will define your CGHS entitlement. So what I mean to say is that whatever the address you are giving after retirement, settlement retirement, that will define your TADA after retirement, that will define your CGHS status, that will define, and there it will be all your communication from CPAO and head of the office will be sent after your retirement. So please promptly give this retirement address date. So you are eligible for getting your TA for settlement after your retirement, wherever it there in India. And thereafter, immediate relief, of course, it is for the death cases. Let us pray that it would not happen before your retirement. So there is a provision. What I wanted to tell you is that it's a part of retirement benefit. Immediate relief will be given in case of death before a retirement. So these are all the retirement benefits. Let us go through one by one. How it is calculated, how much you are going to get, how you will be getting, everything we will see now. The very first thing, entitlement, what you are going to do, what you are going to get is pension. Full pension is allowed. This is what I was talking about. Before 5th Pay Commission, it was the proportionate pension was given to you. As I told you, had you put less than 33 years of service, and your pension was also calculated on the basis that the service you put in. But now, you are not going to bother about the proportionate pension, even if you have put 10 years of qualifying service, not service. If there is any non-qualifying service in between, that will be taken out. So 10 years of qualifying service if we have, you will be eligible to get your full pension. What is the pension? 50% of your last pay drawn. Up to the 5th Pay Commission, half of the average emolument. Average emoluments means last 10 months salary divided by 10, whatever arrived is average emolument. From that only your pension was calculated. But after 6th Pay Commission was implemented, there is a class put in, the last pay drawn by you, or as so-called the average emoluments for 10 months, whichever is beneficial to pensioner. Then there may be a question comes, sir, Are Baba, to always last pay drawn will be much more than the average emoluments, or it may be equal to my average emoluments. Why there is a class between average emoluments and the last pay drawn? Yes, there is only one cases where your last pay drawn can be less than the average emoluments. In which cases there is a rule provision, if on account of any penalty, your increment is deducted or your pay is curtailed to one stage less, then you may get your last pay drawn less than the average emoluments. Other than the penalty class, always, in general, 99% of the cases, the pay which you are drawing at the time of your retirement, the last working day, whatever the pay you are taking as a pay or a leave salary, that will be defining your pensionary benefits and other benefits, which we call it as a emoluments to be taken for the purpose of pension and gratuity. I think it's clear. The pension should be rounded off to next higher rupee. Yes, there won't be any fraction in your pensions. As such, now the 9,000 rupees is minimum pension you are going to get. All of you are getting a pension subject to a minimum of 9,000 rupees. So the maximum how much you will get? The government of India will pay nothing a rupee more than 1,25,000 as a maximum pension. It is the highest pay. You may know the 7th Pay Commission highest pay is 2,50,000. So as such, now of it, the 9,000 to 1,25,000 will be your pension according to your pay drawn. All pension benefits are in government route only. So some of you may be settled after retirement at abroad. and you may request the government to pay your pensionary benefits converted into dollars or euro or divan, whatever it is. No, it is not possible at all. Please keep in mind that your pension will be credited to the bank, whatever the bank it may be. It may be in abroad, the branch of Indian nationalized bank, or even when you are ready to take a counter payment, your pension will be paid in INR only, not in any of other currencies. After taking that, you can convert it whatever and the way you want to do it. A pension once authorized cannot be refixed. This is very important, sir. Many cases we are experiencing. After the pension is authorized, somewhere it is a reduction is happening. See, the audit party has not seen properly, the zonal accounts office has not processed the case, CPAO has found that case. Some problems may happen which will revise your pension downwards. The rule has given a cushion and has given a safeguard that no pension can be reduced for whatever the account it may be, except then the clerical error. For example, instead of 15,000, I typed 51,000. It is a clerical error. If you justify that it is a clerical error that has brought down your pension, yes, it is accepted by the rule. Other than that, negligence, not seeing the rules, not seeing the implementation, erroneously given the pay to you, all these reasons will not cover, and no one can reduce your pension after that. And as a whole, your pension can be withheld with the authority of the President of India. The President of India has got only the person who has got the powers to take back the pension. Other than that, no one can revise your pension downwards, except in the case of some clerical error happened at the time of processing your paper. Okay, if the clerical error has happened and it is found, then how it could be done? Within 2 years, it could be fined, and then CPAO has got authority to revise it. After 2 years, if you find there is a clerical error of defining your pension, that needs to be referred to the DOPT. That has to get concurrence with the pension and pension grievances department. Then only that could be reduced. With the whole help of our God, let us pray that your pension will not get reduced but increased in many folds. So this is a rule position I would like to tell you. This is what the pension reduction. There may be some problem. And as I told you that nowadays, even our chief guest, Pavan sir, has already mentioned you that the life expectancy is going upwards in government in India, and more specifically in Asian countries. So what happened? The more you are living, the more financial burden will be occurring. And the more you are living, more social status you will have to cover up. So thinking that in mind, Government of India has now given an additional quantum. The more age you are living, the more pension you are going to get. How much you are going to get? Let us have a table out of it. This is how you will be getting. If you cross 80 years of age, up to 85 years, 20% additional basic pension you will be provided, whatever you are getting now. Likewise, 85 to 90, 30%, 90 to 95, 40%, 95 to 100, 50%. If we are lucky enough to live more than 100 years of age, 100% more, double the pension what you are getting at the time of you are crossing. It is not now what you are getting, will be enhanced. And one more important thing, let me put in front of you, sir. For this, please don't disturb your head of the office or zonal accounts. Don't give any representations or not send it to CPAO and all. It's purely to be revised by your dispersing bankers. So please contact your bankers and get it done through the CPAO, and it will be revised when you attain this 80, 85, 90, 95 and 100 years of age. Let us pray that all of you will get 100% more. Okay, that is what the additional quantum of pension. Okay, and after that, we will come to the next entitlement, retirement gratuity. Retirement gratuity, as all of you know, that if you have put 5 years qualifying service, all of you might have put more than that, you will be eligible for service gratuity. Since you have put more than that, you are eligible for the service gratuity and as well as the retirement gratuity. The retirement gratuity is nothing but 1/4 of your last basic pay plus dearness allowance plus allowed allowances into 6 months completed periods. How many 6 months you have completed? For example, you have put 20 years of service, then 40 60 monthly years, 6 monthly period into your entitlement amount, what I was talking about in the earlier slides, plus that and your dearness allowance and NPA, and thereafter if you have any training allowance, that also part of it, into 1/4. This is what your gratuity you are going to get. Roughly you can calculate your own gratuity on the basis of your last pay draw. Okay, and in that there is no minimum quantity. You will be getting a maximum of 20 lakhs. So there is no minimum. Whatever your entitlement, that will be given. Hello.
Please continue, sir.
Hello.
Please continue, sir.
Yeah. And next is any government dues can be recovered. Please see to that slides are without the consent of the employee. If you are due, you owe anything to the government of India. For example, any loans you have taken, overpayment has given, and any license fee you are going to give, any damage charges, any excess pay and allowances, any recovery pertaining to government. See to that, pertaining to government can be deducted without the consent of the pensioner. So all these government recoveries only can be deducted from the gratuity. Even your head of the office has got no powers to deduct any other non-governmental dues from your gratuity without your consent. So gratuity, it could be cut down without the consent of the pensioner at any point of time. Court attachment, if there is a court attachment when it will happen, any judicial separation between the spouse and there is any court attachment is going on, you know very well that from the pay some part will be remitted to the court. Considering the fact that any amount coming to the employee will be remitted to the court, it's not so. Your gratuity cannot be touched even a court attachment is going on. So the gratuity is entirely to be given to the retiree only, and no income tax for this gratuity amount, and delayed payment can be claimed as a rule. Yes, if your gratuity is delayed beyond 6 months, then you can go to your department and assess why the delay is happened. Other than the administrative reasons, if the delay is intentionally made, you can even claim the interest which is equal to your GPF interest. So these are all about the retirement gratuity. Please get ensured your gratuity is paid on the date of your retirement. We will come to the next portion, the commutation of pension. Commutation of pension is nothing but your own pension. See what happened now at the time of retirement, many of you may have some commitments like your son's higher education, daughter's marriage, construction of house or something, blah, blah and all. So in that way, what happened, you may like to get a lump sum at the time of your retirement rather getting it in a monthly pension way. So the government has got a facility that you can go and accumulate your monthly pension and put it as a lump sum and get it as a commutation of pension. How much you can take? Maximum of 40% of the annual, monthly pension what you are going to take. When I'm talking about pension, it is basic pension, and 40% maximum you can go for. It is not a necessary, it is an option for you. If you want to go for commutation, you can go for, or not, you can take your monthly pension as a whole full sum. It all depends on your need and your financial management. Hopefully next session they will tell you how you can manage your finance. You can accordingly decide whether you are going for a commutation or pension. If at all you decide to go for a commutation of pension, not necessarily 40% fully you will have to go for. According to your need, 10%, 20%, 40%, 30% you can go for. So that for taking the commutation, there are two elements very important. One is time and another is when you are presenting your application. All your commutation of pension is depending on your date of application, sir. Please kindly look into this very carefully. I will give an example also. If I am going to retire in this month, January 31st, if I have given my application before my date of birth, for example, my date of birth is 10th of January 2,061 so that I can retire this month, correct? So if I give my commutation application before 10th of this January month, I will be getting more commutation amount. If I give my application after 10th of this January, even though I am going to retire in 31st January, I will get less commutation amount. How it differs? Always the commutation of pension is calculated on the basis of your last pay drawn. That is the factor of the 40% of your pension and your commutation factor into 12. This commutation factor only will get varied. That is according to your next birthday. If you give before 10th, the next birthday will be 61. The commutation factor is less. If you give after 10th, next birthday will be 61. Sorry, before 10th, next birthday will be 60. So the commutation factor is more. After 10th, if you give, your next birthday is 61. So the table will be calculated on the basis of your date of application. So please ensure that at least your date of application for commutation is presented to zonal accounts office before your date of birth in the month which you are going to retire. Hopefully it has cleared you. And then that is the commutation of pension. We will come to the family pension, other entitlement, superannuation entitlement. Normally it is given 30% of the last pay drawn, or 9,000 is the minimum as in the case of your pension. So it will be definitely given first instance to your widow or widower only in case of while in service as well as even after you become a pensioner. After that existency is over, then only it will pass on to the children, those who are up to 25 years or not, and also not having a monthly income of this family minimum family pension of 9,000 rupees. Simply put in a word that if my son is entitled, he will be getting it up to his 25 years of age, or even before that it will be curtailed if he started earning 9,000 rupees per month. This earning is not defined in the rule how he is going to get other than any other family pension. All income, let it be whatever the way it may be wages, it may be salary, it may be remuneration, it may be a professional earning, whatever the way it may be, even it may be a coolie, it may be a daily wages. So he should not earn more than 9,000 per month. If he earns, then what happened? He is ceased to be the family pensioner. After that, widow daughter, divorced daughter, unmarried daughter, with the condition till she or till that particular daughter gets married or started earning this 9,000. So these are all the tree of family pension. Family pension is also applicable to dependent parents. After 6 pay commission, it has come into existence. Even the parents are entitled, but straight away the parents will not get it. Only if you lapse all other avenues of family pensions here before in class 1, then if still the parents are existing, still they don't get 9,000 per month, then even the parents are entitled. In order of parents, how it will be given? It will not be given equally to both the people. Your mother will get first pension, family pension. After the mother's life, the father will get. It is not given both. So the pension will be given, priority is given to the mother first, then to the father. So the family hierarchy is also like that. If you have 4 sons eligible for getting the pension, it will not be given to all the 4 equally, or whatever the nomination you are giving, it won't be given. It will be given the first entitled eldest family pensioner, and then it will pass on the death or the cessation of the family pension to the next person. According to the rule, the age factor, this dependency factor, and also the other conditions, all these 3 will have to be taken care. When you are claiming your family pension, that is the nominees of dependent of your family, they have to submit 4 documents to the government. That is the death certificate of the pensioner, the legal hair certificate to get the family pension, a dependency and non-committed certificate. That is what he is not getting any this thing, more than 9,000 rupees per month, and a copy of the PPO which the pensioner was holding. So these 4 documents are very important. Let us not so prejudice and so visualize what is going to happen in a later stage, but you should aware of these things also, so that you can make aware of your family persons also. So these 4 documents, that is a death certificate of the pensioner, legal heir certificate, copy of the PPO order, and also an affidavit stating that he is not getting more than 9,000 per month. So these things need to be given in case of a family pension arises after your pension. And how the family pension will be given: the spouse is the first and legitimate dependent, she will be getting the first one, and then the permanent disabled child, then it will pass on to the child. When it passed on to the children, out of the children there is a permanent disabled child, he will be given the preference, and for the lifetime the child is entitled to get his family pension. Apart from that, on the orders of their existence and order of the conditions, other children will be taking that family pension. And then if no one is existing of this class, this family pension will pass on to the dependent parents. Dependent parents, in the sense, at the time of your retirement, they should be dependent on you, and they will not get more than 9,000 at the time of going for this family pension claim. And also it will be given in order: mother would be given first, thereafter the father. So this is the way. After that, all existence is over of this particular category. Finally, if there is a brother, a sibling, brother or sister for you, those who are not getting any amount, and if happen to be a permanently disabled person, mentally or as well as physically, that will have to get the family pension. How you can define it? Through a medical certificate which is given by not less than the cadre of a civil surgeon of a government medical office or government medical hospital or a government medical college. They will have to give a certificate, this permanently they are disabled. On getting this certificate, the family pension will be given for the permanent disabled siblings of the pensioners. Okay, let us now come to the another terminal benefits of encashment of leave. I'll take another 5 minutes, madam. I'll just finish it off. So the encashment of leave is not a terminal benefit. It's not a pensionary benefit. It's not a right. It is a benefit given to the pensioner. What you can get? A maximum of 300 days EL can be encashed, and if you don't have on your record, on your service record 300 days EL, a part of a HPL can also be converted and taken, but in whole case, in total, 300 days only are allowed, not more than that. Combined together EL or HPL or alone the EL, the maximum allowed is 300 days. So you cannot claim any delay payment interest, even if your office is giving it after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year or 2 years. No interest can be given for this encashment of leave. It is a salary equal to your leave entitled, that is, your leave salary will be calculated, not the salary of payment. And training allowance, probably the RTA and other things, if you are working, you will be getting some training allowance. That could also can be taken for the benefit of encashment of leave, along with your NPA, that is, if you are getting any non-practice allowance. So these are all how you can take your encashment of leave. Recosting is permissible. There is another thing. See, if at the time of your retirement you don't have 300 days leave, you are eligible to convert your EL what you have taken into any other admissible leave available, but that should have been taken within a month. For example, I took 3 days EL. I am going to retire. I have still 3 days of CL with me. You can convert this EL into CL at the time of retirement, provided that CL is taken within 30 days. Rule number 10 of the leave rules allows you to convert this and encash your EL. Any kind of leave can be converted and could be adjusted for taking this EL, provided that leave should have been taken within the 30 days of your retirement as well. That has to have the EL effect under the recosting of leave by rule 10 of your CCS leave rules. You can go through the rule books, because this is not a pension benefit, this is a leave rule benefit. And then the CGIES, as all of you know, that there is a fund given to that. The government is putting money over it, as an interest. And if you are a pensioner, that is, you are alive till your retirement, you will be given the you are giving the savings bank money. This savings bank money is taken into consideration of your last 36 months of your GPF accumulation also. It should be a minimum of that amount. It will be given, and with a table of benefit, your insurance money will be given if death happens before the retirement date. So if you retire safely on the date of retirement, you will be taking the savings fund account. If God's grace, nothing should happen, had happened, then at the death, your family will be getting the insurance even before your retirement. So that is calculated on the basis of the table of benefits, which is released by the Government of India once in 3 months or sometimes once in 6 months. So CGIES you will be getting. I will just finish this medical facility and wind up this session. So after retirement, what is the medical facility you are going to get? There are two categories. One, as I told you earlier, the address which you are declaring to settle after your retirement is defining your medical facility. That means if you are living in a CGHS area, you are not eligible to take any FMA. FMA means fixed medical allowance will not be given to you. You are supposed to avail the CGHS facility as now you are availing in your service. You can go for OPT as well as IPT, that is inpatient and outpatient, and emergencies, admissions, everything will be covered. And if you don't want to have anything out of it, you have an option. You can come out of this CGHS, you don't claim anything. That is left to you. It is if you are the pensioner is living in CGHS area, you have no other option either to take the CGHS facility or to leave it. I don't want it. But if your area is not covered in CGHS area, you have plenty of options. Let us see, go through. I will just rush through because time is very less. The very first one is that I don't want any facilities from Government of India. Please give 1,000 rupees per month. I will take care of my medical expenditure. This is one option. The second option is you can go for a lifetime card. That is, you go to the CGHS office, additional director's office. They will be providing a lifetime card having some contribution taken. And then with the use of the card, whatever now you are availing CGHS facilities, even though you are not living in a CGHS facility, you can go to the CGHS area and you can avail this facility, but you will not be provided the 1,000 rupees. Next one is that I don't want 1,000 rupees also. I don't want CGHS also, but I will get the facilities of my spouse. That means so your spouse may be placed in a very good position where they are getting a better medical facility, that you can opt, you can go for that. No medical facility you take from the Government of India, you have to give a certificate. Or else you might have come from a very different department to this department. You may be continuing to get this medical facilities of your earlier department. For example, if you are an ex-serviceman, your military hospital facilities are better than the CGHS facilities. If you feel so, then you can adapt to that and you can leave it alone. For example, you come from an autonomous of ONGC where the fixed medical allowance is given to you, which you see that it is a very much beneficial to you. You can opt for that and you can leave these medical facilities. So these are the two categories of medical facilities the pensioners will get. Hopefully, you will be having an elaborated session tomorrow when you go for this CGHS and medical facilities. Probably doctor, that AD would tell you more, he will throw more lights on these facilities. Please make use of that session. Now we will come to the end of the session. The topic of today's class is superannuation benefits. What are all the benefits you are getting? How the calculations are made? The very first one is pension. As I told you, your last pay drawn by 2, the 50% of your last pay drawn. Family pension is last pay drawn into 30% will be taken as a family pension. Commutation, if you opt for, then if you don't opt, you will get a full pension. If you opt for that percentage into 12 into the factor of your next date of birth. As such of now the table says 8.287 is our 60 years age. And if opted for after your date of birth, it may get down maybe 8.157, whatever it is. So please ensure that commutation is calculated in this page. Gratuity, completed 6 months of your service into 1/4 into emolument. Emolument, whenever I am talking about, is a emolument for your pensionary benefits. EL encashment, whatever the 300 days or less EL you have in your account into leave salary of the 300 days maximum. Fixed medical allowance, 1000 rupees you will be provided. Earlier it was 300, now it is raised to 1000 rupees. DLIS, average emolument balance of your GPF into 36 months, or the insurance money left out, whichever is more you will be getting. TA as per entitlement, that is wherever you are going to settle your one side of a TA you will be getting. It is as per the entitlement of your tour, whatever the tour entitlement you will be getting your transport of goods, your transportation of family, everything you will be getting, but it is a destination to destination, not from the home to home. Okay, that you have to see that. GPF, whatever left it in your account, it will be given along with the interest. So these are all the benefits you are going to get. Thank you very much for the patience of all the participants. Hopefully I have thrown some light on the darkness of your not knowing the rules and your entitlements. Apart from that, if you have any doubts, your course coordinator will share my email ID as well as my phone number to all of you, the participants. Please make use of it. So we have come to the end of this session. Thank you very much once again. I wish all of you a very happy new year, as well a very bright retirement life as you are living nowadays, you with the same enthusiasm, with the same health, same wealth, and more health and more wealth, in fact, after your retirement. Enjoy your retirement life. Thank you very much, participants.
Sir, can we take a few questions?
Yes, madam. If time permits for you, I am working.
Maybe I think we can take a couple of questions because they were asked in the chat box. Mr. Ramakrishna Rao, I think you had asked 2 questions. Could you please unmute yourself and ask those questions?
Yeah, you can come online, please.
Yes, you can please unmute yourself. Mr. Ramakrishna Rao. Or anybody else? Anybody else has a question? Please let us know.
Please unmute your mic and you can talk to me. We will have an interactive session for 5-10 minutes.
Hello. Hello, madam.
Yes. Yaradu?
Madam, name Kotam, madam, nanu.
Kotam avare keli prashne. Kannadadale keli parvagilla.
Kannadadalli ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಬೇಕಾ?
ಹಲೋ.
ಹೇಳಿ ಕೋಟಮ್ಮ ಅವರೇ.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಇವರು ಕಾಣಕಲ್ಲ ಇವರು.
ಹಲೋ
ಹಲೋ. ಹಲೋ ಸರ್,
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ ಈ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ?
ಮೇಡಮ್
ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. ಇದನ್ನ PPT ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸರಿನಾ? There is a question here by Bhaskar. I think he is asking, what is this DLIS?
DLIS, yes. Actually, what happens, sir, you may know that every month from your salary, there is a portion of money is deducted for CGIES, Central Government Employees Group Insurance Scheme, correct? And that group insurance is put in a fund. What we call it as a 2 factors. One is the savings fund. Whatever you are providing to government will put in a savings fund, and that will be taken for your retirement benefits along with the interest table of content you will be provided. That means it's a sort of a savings account kept by the government of India. When it comes to death, that has got another factor which we call it as a insurance. Death linked insurance scheme. That means a part of that money will be taken and kept in an insurance fund. If something by not the willing of God, something happened before the retirement, death happened, then only this portion will be given to your nominee of the deceased person. We call it as a DLIS. What is the important factor in this DLIS? Only the person, those who are in service, during service, death happened, the DLIs will be given. It will be given to the next kin and kith of the deceased person. This DLI is calculated on the basis of the table of contents. And this death, this thing, DLIS, has got only one condition. Your last 3 months, 3 years, 36 months of GPF balance should be not less than 10,000 rupees for the case of Group C. For groups, it differs, and that 10,000 rupees should have been kept in your GPF account. Then that is why we are insisting minimum 6% of the GPF should have been deposited from your salary. So please get ensured that according to that, if you have that average in your GPF at the time of death of the deceased person, the DLIs will be provided, sir. It is like a sort of insurance. At the end of the death of a deceased person, it will be given. If the death doesn't happen, by God's grace, it will be converted into a savings link amount. When you are retiring, the money will be given as a savings bank account. That is what it is. Is it okay, Mr. Bhaskar?
Sir, this Bhaskar, could you please respond? I think Bhaskar is on a desktop thing, sir, so he cannot respond. He can only.
No
now.
Srividya, I got one question.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, Venkataraman sir, thank you for excellent retirement benefit scheme. Your encyclopedia of the service matters, because I also worked in cash action for so many days, and I've worked at DDO also. Thank you for excellent question. I have got one question, sir. I have not commuted the pension now. Yes. Can I commute the pension after the retirement?
Yes, sir. You are entitled to do that, but within 1 year, you are supposed to commute it. Within 1 year from your retirement, if you commute, you need not to go for any medical investigation or medical board. Straight away, you can commute, no issues. Your commutation money will be calculated on the basis of 62 factor. That is, your next birthday will fall after 61 to 62. That is the only difference. Up to 1 year, you can also commute. Even after 1 year also, you can commute, but you have to undergo a medical fitness certification from the government medical hospital, not less than the cadre of a civil surgeon of a government. If he gives a fitness certificate to you, you can commute your portion at any point of time, sir. But if you are opting before 1 year from the date of your retirement, you need not to go for any medical observations. Even after the 1 year is over, if you go, your medical certificate you are bringing, still your head of the office has got a doubt of your medical certification, he can ask you to go for the second opinion of medical certification also. You are supposed to go for that also, sir.
Thank you very much for the query, sir. Thank you very much. I am satisfied.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else has got any questions?
Sir, one Mr. Madhusudana Rao is asking, do pensioner living in CGHS area need to pay money for life card? Yes, sir. This has got, yes, still you need to pay for money. In that way, you can get a life card also. And if you don't want to pay money, you can go on get the outpatient treatment as a CGHS beneficiary. If you want to go for an inpatient, and if you want to go for admission formalities, or you need to give the bills subsequently after your retirement, you need to give for that, sir. There is a money. I think that is now it is calculated 15 years of contributions of your cadre. That is, if you are a Group A, Group B, 625 into 15 years contribution. Upfront you have to pay it and get your card.
Do we have any more questions?
Sir, I am Kamisar Rao. Sir, the restoration of commutation of pension is also required. Is also there now, sir. After how many years it is restored? That is not
in normal case. Yes, sir. In normal cases, it is 15 years after your retirement, sir. That restoration of commutation is calculated from the date of commutation, not from the date of your retirement, sir. If it so happen on the day of retirement, you are getting your commuted money value paid to you. From there, 15 years, it will be reduced pension, sir. After 15 years, you will be getting your enhanced pension.
Yes.
That is your full
Yeah.
pension you will be getting, sir.
Exactly. That is it.
Because we are computing 50 years of your pay. 15 years, sorry.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions?
Hello?
Hello?
Sir, Ramanaya, sir. Minchala Venkatramaniya.
Ready?
Sir, you tell rule number 10, no, medical family. CGH, where the CGH is not available. Sir,
Sir, I told you,
people are not eligible, sir.
No, there is a little bit confusion in your this thing, understanding. I was
Rule
talking
number 10,
about
sir.
10 of leave rules, CCS.
Cities having CGHS facilities, sir. But official places, sir, are not having CGHS.
Hello?
Sir.
Hello? Sir, you are asking about CGHS or leave rule?
Sir. CGHS, sir. In Mapsal area, CGHS facilities are not available.
Yes, sir.
It is having CGHS facilities, sir. We will get under 1,000 rupees per month, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. If your area of living after retirement is falling on non-CGHS area, you can get 1,000 rupees, sir. No issues, sir. And if you don't want 1,000 rupees, go for a lifetime card. Even though where you are living, CGHS is not there. For example, you are living in somewhere outskirts of Azagalli after Whitefield, where the CGHS facility is out of the jurisdiction. You will be getting 1,000 rupees. If you don't want 1,000 rupees, forfeit that and get a card, and still you can go for CGHS. You can come to Bangalore where CGHS is available, and you can take the medical facilities. You can also get medical facilities from the CGHS authorized private medical hospitals and submit your bills to the AD office of CGHS in Bangalore.
Sir. Understand, sir.
Option is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Understand.
Any more? Any more questions?
In chat box, I will type my mail ID.
Sir. And there has also been a request in our WhatsApp group whether this PPT can be shared. Yeah. So if you can share the PPT on my WhatsApp group also is fine, sir. To me on WhatsApp.
I'll put it to your mail, madam.
Fine.
So that you can also supply to all the participants.
Okay, fine. I'll ask the participants.
We do earlier also. I will send it to your mail. You can.
Mr. Ramakrishna Rao has got a question, but Mr. Ramakrishna Rao, I don't know if it's a question or if you are trying to give us the information. You are telling us here 50% qualifying service is normally applicable to canteen staff. Are you giving us the confirmation or is it a question? And secondly, there is one more question by Mr. Ramakrishna Rao. Please confirm whether all entries in service book are to be handwritten, as there is a practice in this department to type in a paper and paste it in the history of service.
Yeah, I will address these two questions first. See, as far as the 50% of service is to be taken for the qualifying service, it is applicable only to the people, those who have been appointed into government on a temporary basis and subsequently they made permanently. If the canteen staff was appointed on a temporary basis and he was working for 10 years, 16 years, 15 years on a temporary basis itself, a continuous service, then he had taken on a permanent basis 50% of his salary service to be taken for qualifying service. Had the canteen staff was appointed against a regular existing post and has completed the probation of 2 years, his whole period has to be taken. Put in a simple way, The employee, those who have been appointed on a temporary basis and subsequently made permanent. Hello.
Please continue, sir.
In such cases only, the temporary period should be taken 50%. Coming to the second question, that is what you had asked.
The 50% qualifying service.
That is what I had clarified. 50% of
whether all entries in service book are to be handwritten, as there is a practice in this department to type in a paper and paste it.
Yes. See, actually, rule does not spell out anything of it. See, it should be recorded only. So it is always good that if it is handwritten, because so it will not get mutilated, it will not get torn off, it will not get unpasted from the page and all. But yes, as you said, because the time goes on, we don't have manpower to write, we don't have facility, everything is automated. Yes, printed and pasted is also can be taken. I suggest, and even what the automation of office rules says, that is OPM says, in such cases where you are pasting a piece of paper on your service book, let the authority not sign on the paper and not sign on the service book. Ask them to sign across the paper and the service book so that the entry is pasted and it has been endorsed by the. Otherwise, even the printed piece of paper can be pasted in your service book. It is legitimate.
Sir, I think this is a question which will be on the minds of many people. What would be the approximate amount a person on retirement could get? Approximately a person from everywhere. Approximately how much? So that it would be easier for them to look at how they can plan.
Yeah.
Approximately how much could they be getting, sir?
Let me take out my calculator first.
Sure, sir, sure.
Because normally as an average, if you are retiring as a group A officer, I'm talking about the benefits other than your savings in GPF. I'm talking about, because GPF we don't know. See, some may be having. I have a case in my office. An officer is holding 86 lakhs rupees in his GPF. Hold your heart, and then see, it depends upon all other things. So I'm not getting into the GPF. Other than that, the terminal and pensionary benefits, if you look at, a group A officer could get around 50 lakhs and an average salary of 7th pay commission. And a group B officer will get around 35 to 40 lakhs. And group C people will get around 20 lakhs. It's based on the salary and average emoluments I have just taken, then calculated.
Are we through? Are we through with all the question answer session?
Yes, madam.
Yes. So thank you so much, Venkatraman sir, for joining us and giving us all the clarifications. I know many of us have still got doubts about how all these are calculated. Since sir has shared his mail ID, and I'm telling you this from experience, he responds to queries. So please make use of the mail ID venkat.ingaf@gov.in. So you can definitely get in touch with sir for all your clarifications regarding your benefits or how everything is calculated. I'm sure sir will definitely help. As far as the PPT is concerned, sir will be sharing it with me on the mail. So if any of you want the PPT, kindly send me a mail on bangalore.ito.mstu@incometax.gov.in. I have put the mail ID on the chat box. You please send me a mail and I will respond with the PPT to that mail, because it will be very difficult for me to note down the mail ID from the WhatsApp. Do not send me your mail ID on the WhatsApp. Send it to this mail ID as a return mail. I will be sharing the PPT once I get it from Venkatraman sir. Any other doubts? Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, participants. I hope all of you have, none of you have any doubt in your mind. Other than that, am I going to retire? Other than that doubt, you should not have any other doubts. So once again, happy retired life. Please enjoy your second innings of life, and wish you all a happy life. Thank you very much for your patience, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm signing off.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, sir. Well, participants, we shall take a short break, a very, very short
Nirmal
break.
Singh Sachdeva, Sector 20.
A 5-minute break, after which we have already our guest, Jayashree Mehta, has logged in. She will be speaking about the post-retirement financial planning. If you're not interested, you may continue to be logged in. Just 5 minutes. It is 11:42 on my laptop clock. Maybe 11:47, we will be back. Just a 5-minute break so that you can be fresh to take the session that Ms. Jayashree Mehta is going to be handling.